Hey guys, how's it going? It's Calvin Raab, and I hope you're having an amazing day today. So the job market in the future is going to look very different from the one today and very different from the one, decades ago, even 5, 10 years ago. The world looks very different. And in order to prepare for this future job market, to put ourselves in the most marketable position possible, we want to acquire different skills that are going to be necessary in the future. And that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. In this video, I'm going to be going over 10 different skills, including both hard and soft skills, that I believe that you're going to need in the future, that you should start working on now so that you can be the most marketable person that every company is going to want you in the future. So without any further ado, let's get to it. And if you're new here, my name is Calvin Raab. I make videos all about personal finance and the job market. So if you're interested in anything like that, I would love it if you would subscribe. Coming at number one is understand technology. We obviously live in a world where in the future, automation and machines are going to play a much, much larger role than they do today. And it is very important that you understand what they're doing. You know, what these machines are doing, you can take automation for example, is not magic. And I want you to understand kind of what they're doing holistically. I learned about a lot of this in math and when I'm doing calculus and different things like that. You not only want to know what the machines are doing, but how they're doing it. So if they're doing statistics, know what the statistics are that they're doing or anything like that. And this really depends on job by job. You know, you're going to be working with different machines that do different things. Just understand what they're doing. And a lot of people look at technology, pretend it's just magic and just like, it's too complicated, I'm not going to learn it. Take a little bit of time to go and just learn what it's doing, because that's very, very important to know what it is doing. And I've taken some action in doing this. I've started to learn about Python and kind of dip my world into computer programming, that I'm really starting to understand how computers work, and it's kind of garnered me a new understanding, and I now don't think everything is just magic on my computer. I understand exactly what is happening. So I highly recommend doing something like that. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but just do a little bit of research and start learning a little bit about how computers think and different things like that. Coming at number two is data analysis. Now, you don't have to go out and get some degree in mathematics to understand how to analyze data or anything like that. No, I want you to be able to just have basic data analysis capabilities. So maybe this is something in Excel or something like that. And the reason that I want you to have this skill is because we live in a data-driven world right now. And as machines play a larger role and companies get even larger and gather more and more data, almost every job is going to have something to do with data. And you're going to want to be able to look at that data, make and understand how to come up with different decisions and look at it, see what it's doing. And data looks different in different industries. I recommend, again, just maybe looking up a course on basic data analysis and different things like that. Not full-fledged data scientists, but understand data. And if you have a proven track record of dealing with big data, organizing it in different ways, then that will make you more marketable in the future. Coming at number three is learn how to succeed virtually. So in the future, it is looking like remote positions and remote workplaces are gonna kind of be the new norm. And this is something that you can take advantage of by being great when it comes to everything virtual. So this starts as being as simple as in virtual meetings for you to have some of the best quality. This is something that I usually pride myself on if I'm going into a Zoom meeting or anything like that. I did buy a green screen that I have behind me. I bought a pretty nice just a little camera rather than just using the camera installed in my computer. And you want to have a good presence when it comes to those meetings, but as far as succeeding virtually, there's a lot more that goes to that. Understand how business works virtually. So know how to plan a meeting, how to handle a team, how to delegate issues, how to succeed in virtual chat rooms, on emails, and sending private emails that are encrypted and different things like that. Just understand and have a mastery over how things work virtually, because this does look like the direction that things are going to in the future. Coming at number 4 is have that entrepreneurial spirit, or start feeding that entrepreneurial spirit. I think everyone inside of them has a little bit of this little entrepreneur inside that comes up with different business ideas and always says, what if? And I think for the future of what we're looking at when it comes to the economy, this is something that's going to be so important, because we're moving in the direction of what is called the gig economy, which is essentially this economic idea that the majority of jobs in the future are going to be personal gigs and look a little bit more like freelancing than what we see a lot of now, which is just the more traditional W-2 jobs. And as machines do take over, it is going to take a lot of different jobs. So you are going to want to probably have some type of side hustle. So as far as fueling that entrepreneurial spirit and how to kind of go about doing this is just start. If you have any business idea or anything like that, it's time just to do it. That's what I did. You know, many years ago, I had the dream of starting a YouTube channel and talking about personal finance and jobs, and you do it. And maybe it might not work out. It may, just understanding that sense of even learning about how a business works and really working on that entrepreneurial spirit, starting a side hustle or anything like that is so important. So that entrepreneurial spirit is marketable now, and it will also be marketable in the future as well. Coming at number 5, and I do have to say that this one applies both now and the future, and that is just decision-making skills. You want to be a good decision maker, and a lot of leaders have to be good decision makers. So this means working on your decisiveness, and this is something that I've actually struggled with for a while. I was always someone who would get in this analysis paralysis. I think deeply about a lot of things, and oftentimes that may sound good, but it's not, because I overthink a lot of things. So simple things like deciding what I want to eat will take me a lot longer than most. I weigh the pros and cons of everything. So being more decisive is something that I work on. So I mentioned the food thing. When I go out to eat now, I try to make a decision in under a minute and be very decisive with it. And I think that's something that's helping me be more decisive in different things like that. So being a good decision maker is something that is marketable now and will be in the future. You know, businesses want to see that you are a decision maker. The 6th skill is out-of-the-box thinking. And the reason this is so important is because as computers grow more and more, they can't quite, at least yet, think for themselves in the nature of thinking creatively and coming up with their own ideas. So this is where you can step in and really set in the creative tone that machines can't quite do yet. So this is just working on things more creative. And as far as working on this, you can do things like creative writing or something along those lines to really keep those creative juices. I think as we get older, you know, I find myself really pushing down a lot of that like crazy creativity that I had as a child, and now I'm trying to bring that back and bring in new creative juices and stuff like that, and having creative outlets. For me, YouTube is a creative outlet. I'm always trying to think of how I can improve my videos and different things like that creatively. So find a way to be more creative and use your creativity in everything that you do, and that is something that will certainly be marketable in the future. They want to know that you are a creative, cool, kind of fun person. Coming at number 7 is self-motivation, and this is a big important one for the future, because in the future, if we are running on that gig economy where a lot of people are working for themselves, then there's no one really making sure like, oh, you have this deadline, do that. And the entrepreneurs that do succeed are the ones that are self-motivated, that can set times for themselves and have deadlines and hold themselves to a standard. So the way that I do this and make sure that I don't go all over the place and get nothing done is I set myself to a schedule, you know, and I stick to that as if I am at a job or something like that. So being more self-motivated, and I've learned that self-motivation is also a muscle. You really have to work on it. The more you do it, the more self-motivated you can become, and it really has to do a lot with scheduling and making sure you get your work done. Coming at number 8 is multicultural awareness, and this is something that is of course important now, but also in the future. As the world becomes more and more globalized, in order to have a company that is very globalized and for all the employees to work well together, they have to understand each other's culture, and that means understanding things at a multicultural level, understanding that, you know, people have different values and different practices that may live elsewhere. And as far as, you know, really working on your multicultural understanding, a lot of this is just doing research and reading books of different countries and people that have different values and understandings and just of different cultures. And this is kind of a fun one to work on because you get to watch documentaries and different things like that. So this one is just having a multicultural perspective is so important just for personal self-fulfillment. But as far as, being a marketable skill, this is something that employers are going to want to see in the future. They want to see that you understand multicultural understandings and different things like that. So this is something that you can work on, and there's great documentaries about different countries and different people that are out there. Coming at number 9, a skill that you're going to want to develop is you want to be adaptive to change and understanding and ready for change, because with machines and how fast machines can learn and kind of be built and push things forward because they can move so fast and work on things so fast, things change quickly and new innovations, new technologies come in so quickly that you're going to want to be ready for these changes. So it's just a matter of being ready for change. And a lot of this just comes from a mental mindset. If you find that you struggle with change a little bit, well, now you can kind of work on that and get in a better headspace that allows for more change. Maybe this is meditation or yoga or anything along those lines to work on it mentally and just be ready for change, and embrace change when it does happen. Don't see it as a burden, but rather see it as an opportunity for future growth. Coming in at number 10, and this one is so important, and that is become a lifelong learner. And this is also more important now than really it's ever been before because of the speed of improvements with technology. So technology changes our world so fast, and with that you always want to be learning. And this is interesting. I was talking to my dad about it, and he's in the kind of computer science related field, and he talks about how back when he was in school, the way that computers were operated were entirely different, and let alone when he was in school, but back to even just 5 years ago, everything was completely different. So in order to succeed when machines play a large role, you always want to stay up to date because they're always changing, always being updated, and just being a lifelong learner. And even outside of your profession, this is going to be important in just staying up to date on what's going on in the world. Once you graduate, your education is not necessarily stopped, but rather you could argue that it's just starting. You always going to want to be learning, always getting new books, staying up to date, and when you go and interview in jobs in the future, they want to see that you are up to date and always learning about all things about the economy and different things like that. All right, so that will wrap it up. I hope that was helpful. Those are 10 different skills that I see that are going to be very important for the future economy that's out there to make you as marketable as possible. Of course, there are so many skills that are out there, both hard skills and soft skills, and I would love to let me know in the comments below if you think there's any that I forgot. I'm sure that there are some very important skills for the future that are definitely necessary and you should start working on to kind of prepare for that. So let me know down there. I look forward to talking to you down there. But it's important to not only find these, but start working on them. Why push them to the future when you need them? Start working on them now so you can put yourself in the best position for you in the future. But that will wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this video. I truly appreciate it, and I look forward to talking to you in the comments below. But that will wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching. As always, my name is Calvin Raab, and I'll see you soon. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Congratulations. So I'm going to move to the corner of your screen here. If you look in the upper left-hand corner, you are going to see my most recent video. And if you look in the lower left-hand corner, you're going to see a video that YouTube and I each think that you would like. And if you haven't yet, you can hit my face right here and subscribe. As always, my name is Calvin Raab, and I'll see you soon.